Now we are sharing. Just have to see on the phone when we are live.
We're live now.
We are live now. Thank you. I will speak English. You normally hear me speak Norwegian or Swedish, but I will speak English so Ricky can understand what we are saying here today. And I'm really, really thankful and grateful for your time, Ricky, that you are here to share your knowledge and wisdom with me and Jenny and all our friends on Facebook. And Ricky is our mentor. He is our upline in the company we are working in. And I have asked him to share some of his great wisdom and knowledge about the industry and mindsets and different things for everyone in this industry. And through his leadership, he have created a team of 100,000 distributors, 350,000 customers, and $80 million in sales in less than 1 year. And he also is the fastest and youngest millionaire, dollar millionaire in our company, also in only 1 year together with his business partner. So instead of me talking about you, Ricky, maybe you can share some of your story yourself and present yourself a bit more.
Yeah, I would love to. Thanks for having me, Joanna and Jenny. Both of you are just incredible leaders, and I learned from both of you. And I'm excited to be here. You know, a little bit. My story is just so massive. You know, I had someone ask me a question one day, and they asked me. They said, "Hey, how does it feel to be where you're at today? You know, your level of success and all that." And my reply was like, I think it's weird because I shouldn't really be here today, because I was born in Peru in South America, and I grew up in a lot of poverty. And so I remember one day there was even terrorists at my kindergarten school. So we were under like a lot of crazy stuff going on back in that day. And so I'm just a regular boy from Peru, from South America, who had a shot to come out here to the US when I was 5 years old. My parents gave me that opportunity. And when I was 13 years old, I think that's when like a big part of my story begins. When I was 13 years old, I got my first job. And I was working for $3 an hour. So it wasn't a lot of money. But back then, 13 years old, $3 an hour, it was a lot of money to me. And I worked all summer long, 9 hours a day, so that I would have enough money to pay for my back to school clothes and pay for my schooling. Just, you know, I paid my own way. My parents instilled a lot of work ethic in me. And so I was working for a very, very wealthy man. He had, you know, a big mansion, pool, cars, all the stuff that was like glamorous. And I got fascinated by that. And I did a lot of labor work for him. But, you know, I used to do the math in my mind. Wow, $3 an hour. It's going to take me till I'm 80, 90 years old before I'm able to afford something like this, you know? And so, but I saw a few things that were interesting. You know, the guy was, he was a public speaker. He was an impactor. He helped a lot of people. So that was one thing that I identified at a young age, was that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to impact a lot of people. Also, I wanted to be on stages. That's something that I saw in my mind at a very, very young age. The next thing I saw was that he was a business owner. And so he owned his own business. And so when I was 13 years old, that's when I knew that I was going to be a business owner. That's when I knew that I probably wasn't going to pursue a college degree. I wanted to run my own company. And, you know, that's kind of the things I identified with at a very young age when I was 13 years old. And when I graduated high school at the age of 18, I didn't really know, I hadn't found my vehicle yet. I hadn't found my opportunity yet. So I figured if I haven't found it yet, I might as well go to college until I figure it out. So I went to college, and when I talked to the counselor, she asked me, "Hey, what is it that you want to do?" And I said, "I just want to take a business class. I want to go into business." And she said, "Okay, but first you have to do your generals. You have to do your art class. You have to do all that stuff that I had no interest in." And so I said, "Okay, that's fine." And I remember I failed a lot. I failed my art class. When I failed my art class, I figured college isn't for me. So I dropped out. And that same week, I got started in network marketing. That's when I found the network marketing direct selling industry when I was 20 years old. And I don't know if it was exactly 20 or if it was right before or right after. But, you know, I was around 20 years old, and I fell in love with the idea that I could sell a product and make a profit. and that I could also go build a team that could sell a product, and I would override that product sell. And so I got fascinated with network marketing. And, you know, I wasn't a fast starter. You know, I think even back then, social media wasn't that big. 11 years ago, social media isn't as big today. Like nowadays, almost anybody can make a post on Facebook and get some sales or get some recruits. But back then it wasn't that big. And so I didn't succeed like a lot of people succeed today. My first paycheck was $14. I remember the first time I made $100 in 1 month. And I called my family and I said, you guys got to look at my paycheck. It was $100, and they all laughed at me. They're like, what, that's not impressive. But to me, it was impressive because if everyone told me it didn't work, but I made $100, then I proved that it worked. That it worked. I just hadn't worked it enough to make a lot of money. So my first 2 years, I didn't make a lot of money. I found some great mentors. I always stayed in the trenches. I always learned. I always read. I always went to the events. I always put in the work. I think my last 10 years was just pure development, right? It was pure caterpillar mode before evolving into a butterfly, right? Like, and then last year, 2020, I got started with a company, and I made you know, my first million inside of 8 months, and now we've done over 120 million in sales. There's well over 100,000 distributors, probably close to 500,000 customers. I mean, it's been a journey of a lifetime. So that's a little bit about my story, Joanna.
Yeah, I love your story. I can listen on it over and over and over again. And it's really, really impressive. So, and you are in USA, in America, in the big other side of the world from us. And I'm in small Norway, and Jenny is in Sweden. And now we are launching in Europe. So that is why we are here. And I was speaking with you just in the first week or something when I decided to do this. And your story inspired me since the first day. And I also know you were out of the industry and then you came back because you found this company. Can you say something about that?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because in December of 2019, there was two major things that happened in my life. Number one was that I was eager to make a big change in my life. You know, I got to that point. I think in life, you're either going to be inspired enough to move into action, or you're going to be so sick and tired of where you're at that you're just ready for something. And I think I was at that point. And so I made a phone call to a very wealthy individual, and I said, what do I have to do? And he said, you have to go to the next Bob Proctor seminar and have like a mental shift. So I went to a Bob Proctor seminar, and Bob Proctor asked me, he said, what do you want? What's that one thing that you want? You know, and when I look at my life now, but like back then, I mean, I have an amazing wife. I have amazing kids. They're all healthy. Life is good, but it was just a money factor, you know, and all I wanted to do was earn $100,000 a month. That's it. That's all I cared about, $100,000 a month. And he said, okay. And then he talked about this thing called terror barrier, that when you first set a goal, initially you're kind of met with resistance, a lot of like self-doubt, because you're going against everything that you used to believe in. And so that's the first thing that happened, was I set that goal of $100,000 a month. But the second thing that happened was that I basically walked away from the network marketing profession. I don't want to say that I quit, because I didn't quit, but I basically walked away from it temporarily, because what had happened in January of 2019 was that I was looking at network marketing as an entrepreneur. Like, I think a lot of people look at network marketing as a networker. Like, they look at it through networking eyes. And when you look at it from an entrepreneur eyes and mindset, you start to ask yourself different questions, right? Like, when you look at the entire scope of things and you see that network marketing is not the only way to earn income anymore, right? Like, there's so many other ways. You have Uber, you have Lyft, you have DoorDash, you have Amazon affiliates. I mean, there's all these things that people can use to make money nowadays. That network marketing is not the only answer. And so that's why network marketing, you're not just competing within network marketing companies, you're now competing with so many different opportunities. It's called the gig economy. And one thing that I saw that was very distinct was that when a company like Uber came along and a company like Lyft came along, in just a couple of years, they become billion-dollar companies, and not one single person that drives for Uber or Lyft has become a millionaire or even a six-figure earner. What was the magic? And the magic was that they were helping people earn extra income in their spare time, make anywhere from $500 to $1,000, maybe $2,000 a month. And when you look at network marketing, 85% of your team never does or ever really wants to make $1 million. They just want to be able to earn enough money to cover the mortgage or to cover the groceries or to pay for the daycare, little things like that, or to cover retirement or pay for a vacation. And so I saw that magic in it. And then I asked myself, well, what does it take to make, $1,000 a month in network marketing? And for the most part, when you look at most companies, that would take you like 200 personal customers or a team of 150 people. So like it takes a lot of time to do it. And that's why people are always going to the next seminar or reading that next book just to get to $1,000 a month. And so I said, there needs to be a change in the industry. And so I was looking for different companies. I didn't see anything that was that change. And so I walked away from the industry because if, I don't do anything just for the dollar. I have to make sure that I have passion and belief behind what I'm doing. And so I walked away. I tried a lot of different things in traditional businesses throughout 2019. Each of them were a failure. I failed many, many times in 2019. And then November of 2019 was when I got introduced to something different, and it changed my life. So that's a little bit about that, Johanna.
Yeah. So I like that story too, because when you saw this company, you had just $800 on your bank account and Christmas was coming, and you just decided, you made a decision to do something different.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, I mean, it's funny because I had saved up a little bit of money in January of 2019. Most of the money went to go to that seminar to see Bob Proctor. And so I had a little bit of money stashed away, and I kind of lived off of that with my wife and kids, but it just ran down very, very fast. And so around November 2019, I had $700-800 left in my bank account. And it was tough because like my mortgage alone here is $1,900, right? So I didn't even have enough money to cover the mortgage. And Christmas was a few weeks away. I didn't know how I was going to cover the bills. But I got introduced to a company and I saw some unique things, right? I saw some unique things about the company, which I can share here in a little bit, but I saw something different here. And I was at that point where I'd done exactly what Bob Proctor had told me to do, but this time my back was against a wall. And so I decided to launch with this company December 1st of 2019. And when I launched, I didn't really have a strategy other than I set some very big goals. And that's what's changed a lot for me. Like, I believe people need to have a long-term mentality, but don't think that it needs to take you 10 years to become a millionaire. And my entire life, I had always been like, oh, one day I'll get there. It takes time, consistent effort, the tortoise and the hare story, all that stuff. And finally I said, you know what? Forget all that. Let me have a quantum leap. Let me go from having $700 in my bank account to a millionaire. And it happened inside of 8 months. We got to a six-figure monthly income inside of our first 4 months in the business with an $89 order. It wasn't even like, we don't sell big packages. We don't have none of that. Just a little product. And boom, it just grew massively. And of course, no one ever does it alone, right? We had great people that came in, great testimonials, and it really changed my life, right? Like February is always a funny month because it's my wife's birthday, it's my birthday, it's my son's birthday, my daughter's birthday, and Valentine's Day, right? Yes. So it's basically Christmas again. It really is. And so this year, I was sitting there with my wife and kids in the kitchen, and I was like, what do you guys want? What do you guys want for your birthdays? And they all said, hey, let's go to New York, right? And I said,
you live in Utah.
Yeah, I live in Utah. Yeah. So New York is like a 5-hour flight. And, and I don't really believe in vacations, because vacations, you're vacating. I'm not vacating. I'm just choosing to live my life in a different part of the world. So we went to New York for an entire month. And, you know, it was the most beautiful experience. We got to do anything that we wanted to. We got to experience New York the way you're supposed to experience it. We didn't go for 4 or 5 days to rush around. We went for an entire month. My kids got to see a different part of the world, let's say, you know, and that's why I do that's how my life has changed, is those experiences for me. But in November 2019, like, the reason why I've been able to do that was because I finally found a company that I felt brought the gig economy for the first time into the network marketing profession. And I'll tell you why. It's for 3 simple things, right? Number 1 is the products, right? Like, the products are amazing. I think people like to be around things that they like and they feel really good on. And so the products are just amazing. I believe the product needs to be an opportunity. When you look at all the major companies in the world, they're not big companies because of a great opportunity. They're a great company because of a great product. When you look at companies like Nike, right? Like, I'm wearing Nike, or you look at companies like Adidas or Apple, they're big companies because people love to represent their brands, you know? And so I love our company. I love that people love to experience the brand. They feel good, right? I think most people today wake up exhausted. They go to sleep exhausted. They don't even sleep good when they're sleeping. They're not getting the right things into their body. And when you can give them something so simple that they take in the morning, and then boom, they're good. Life can change really fast for somebody, you know? So anyways, like, that became the movement, was the brand. So we have an incredible brand. People love to represent it. I think we're like the next Apple. I think we're the next Walmart, the next Nike, the next Adidas. That's important. Number 2 is that to be a part of our company, you can be a part of it for free. And I think that that's crucial, because when you look at the big social media companies like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you can be a part of their networks for free. When you look at companies like Uber, companies like Lyft, companies like Amazon, you can be a part of those networks for free. Only in network marketing do you have to pay for a $500 pack, you know? And so network marketing hasn't adapted. We adapted by saying, hey, you can become a part of our business for free. Yeah. And so we've had people tons of people that have come in for free, and they've earned income. Right. I don't want to say how much income, but
they have gone from free to diamond in the company in pretty short time because of the possibility.
Yeah, you can come in for free to 6-figure income, 7-figure income. Right. We have a close friend of ours that came in for free. She makes a 6-figure income. Her credit card has never been in the system because she just uses her commissions to cover the products, and she's never had to pay to be a part of our company. So I think it's awesome. And the third thing that's really, really powerful is we pay a 50% retail commission on the products. And I think that that's really powerful, because we're in 99% of the companies in the direct selling model. And again, it's not to say that they're bad companies. It just means that they haven't adapted to the new model. But when you look at all the companies out there, for you to make $500 a month, you do need to have 120 people on your team to make $500 a month. If you want to do it through customers, you have to have 200 customers or more, right? Because of our 50% retail model inside of our company, you could make $500 a month with just 10 customers. Yeah. And that's crazy, right? And now we have various products, right? One of our most powerful product combos is $99. So you get a customer on that, you make $50. You get 10 customers, you have $500. Like, I tell people all the time, even if you join our company for free and you don't want to build a big team, but all you do is get 1 customer a week for 1 year, that's 52 customers. And if you have 52 customers that are reordering every month, you're potentially earning an extra $31,000 a year in income, an extra $31,000 a year with just 52 customers, right? We have a product called, I won't even say the name, but we'll have it soon out there also in Europe. But it's $70. So you can
mention what type of product.
Yeah, we have a ketones product coming.
Yeah,
and it's
really amazing.
Really yeah, it's incredible. I mean, and they're working on getting it out there, but it's like, if you take a $70 product and you're paying 50% retail on it, that's $35. And this is a product guide. Like we have a product, we have a product that's very, very powerful. That's got curcumin, turmeric, and collagen inside of it. It's patent. That one's $70. It's a chai tea flavor. It's incredible. Everyone, that's from birth to death kind of product. You should be on that forever. Yeah. $70, right? So if you get a customer on that, you make $35. If you get one customer a week on that, only that product right there for a year, that's 52 customers. 52 customers on that product would make you an extra $18,000 a year in income. And so that's never been seen before, right? Where you can and the stories that have been pouring in are amazing. You know, with the pandemic that happened in 2020, we saw so many people that couldn't work anymore. And we had so many messages pouring in from people saying, gosh, if it wasn't for your business model, we wouldn't have been able to cover the mortgage, you know? And I think that's the magic. I was having a Zoom call earlier with the team and I said, how does someone in network marketing earn $500,000 a month? Now, $500,000 a month is a lot of money. Okay. But let's just say that was your goal. Very simple. All you're going to do is first earn $500 yourself. And then all you're going to do is teach as many people as you can to make $500 a month as well. And the more you do that, the more your income is going to go high, right? So you can have all the goals in the world, but the magic is always going to be, especially inside of network marketing, the magic is always going to be in how many people you can get to $500 to $1,000 a month. And I can tell you right now, when you look at the numbers in the industry, it does take 120, 150 people. Our company, 10 customers.
That's amazing.
And it is amazing. And so I get excited. And we're just starting, you know, with leaders like Johanna, leaders like Jenny, that are going to allow us to have the opportunity to have breakthroughs all over Europe. You know, with what we've done here, most of it has been in the US. We're still a baby company all globally, but this year, 2021, we're going to have some major expansion happen all over the world. And I was actually talking to my wife yesterday. I said, hey, where should we go next? Like, where should we go live for a month or two? And you know what we said? We're like, oh, we should go to Sweden, you know? So hopefully, hopefully the borders
you have to take the boat to Norway too then.
Yeah, of course. You know, I've been to Sweden one time. It was so beautiful. I was like, it's amazing. And so I told my wife, I said, well, as soon as the borders open up, let's go out there, you know? And that's what life is all about, is really having fun with your loved ones and doing those fun experiences. And I just believe that if you build your own business and you care about other people, you deliver good value, I think anyone has a shot to become financially free.
Yeah, I want to just what you talked about here, because in network marketing, we have been in network marketing for several years, all of us. And what we see is some people are really great leaders, great to lead themselves. It's easy for them to earn the money, but it's difficult to help the teams to earn money. And for me, I started in here in June, and I have already a team of 1,000 people, and so many people earn money without, I don't know who they are. I have never been in a company like that before. So, and I see that is also attracting a lot of leaders from other companies because they earn money, but it's difficult to help the team to earn money.
Well, and that's always going to be the main issue in network marketing. And when people talk about retention in a business, retention always comes through success of a product testimonial and a business testimonial, you know? And the one statistic that used to always bother me in network marketing is when leaders would get on stage and say, hey, you have to become a 15%er because 85% of the people never make money. And I always hated that statistic because I always said, why would you want to be a part of something where, like, out of 10 friends that you bring into a business, only one has a shot, maybe has a shot. And what I feel like what we've done with our company here is now we've given everyone a shot, and we've flipped that around. Now 100% of the people can have that opportunity. And the stories were amazing to hear stories. Like, my vision was never to say, hey, let's bring networkers here so networkers can make money. My vision was, how do we get the lunch lady, the truck driver, the lawyer, the busy mom? How do we get them to earn income? Because that is 85% of your business. So we got to take care of them first. right?
We have
And
a lot
so
of moms in our team with children who wants to have more time with the children. And you also have 4 children, Ricky. So,
I
you
have
know,
4 children, and my kids
the dad.
are everything. Yeah. So
Yeah.
no, it's awesome. I love the moms. I think we have an incredible mom movement. We call it
Yeah.
parent movement, the parent revolution, I guess. But
Yeah.
um,
Yes, the revolution.
yeah.
So, some things that you think is important for the industry in the future, it's the gig economy and also the drop shipping model and to make 80% of the people earn a little bit of the money. So, and all of those things were things that made you go into this company with all your heart.
Yeah, 100%, because this was a $500 decision for me, meaning that it wasn't about me making $1,000. It was like, when I saw this model and I only had $800 left in my bank account, I said I could do this, and I could at least make a few $1,000s by Christmas time. Yeah. You know, and so it was great. But yeah, I do believe that.
So what was the biggest mindset shift for you? You said you wanted to go from $0 to $100,000 a month, and you have to do a big quantum leap in your mindset. Yeah. And if you are going to give some advice to people who are listening in here and in any company, how should they change their mindset, or how can they adopt some of what you have done?
Yeah, I would say the first thing is, to achieve something different in life, it really does require a different thought process. You have to think different, because like, you can do the same activity, right? Like in network marketing, for example, we're all doing the same thing. We're all sharing a product, and we're all recruiting team members, and that's all that we're doing. Yeah. But inside of every company, whether it's network marketing or insurance or whatever, there's always going to be like a lot of people, or some people that make a lot of money, some people that don't make money, right? And the difference is more in like the thinking. And so that was the first thing, is I changed my thinking and saying, hey, let's go for something crazy. Let's stop saying it can happen in 5 years. Why don't we just become millionaires in the next few months? Like, why not? You know, like, I mean, if Elon Musk is getting people to Mars, like, why can't I become a millionaire? Yeah, you know, if Elon Musk started from nothing and now he's the richest man in the world at like $170 billion, I should be able to make $1 million, you know, and maybe $1 million is not your goal, but maybe you're someone that's been struggling to make any money in network marketing, and you're saying, gosh, what I really would like to make is $10,000. Have that change your thought process. Say that it can happen sooner, you know, because that's like the whole law of like, if someone gives you, you know, 1 month to do something, it'll take you 1 month. If they give you 2 days to do it, it'll take you 2 days, right? So, but it's the same task, but it's just a different change in thinking. So that's number one. Number two is that I really wanted to compress time frames, and I think that that's important. You know, there's a book that, it's called 10,000 Hours, right? And it talks about how like you have to take 10,000 hours, and you have to do something for 10,000 hours to be like an expert. And I like that, and I agree with that concept, right? I've put in more than 10,000 hours, but in network marketing, it's not really 10,000 hours. And network marketing is more of like 10,000 invitations, right? So like, what if instead of 10,000 hours, 10,000 hours could be like 5 years if you're doing 3 hours a day? Why not do 10,000 invitations in 1 year? And achieve bigger? Now, 10,000 is a lot, right? But so, you know, what I did different that when I first got started was, hey, I'm going to invite everyone to take a look. So my very first week, I reached out to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, right? Typically in 1 year, I might reach out to 100 people. But this time I was reaching out to 100 people a day in my first 7 days.
So I wanted to come to that too.
Yeah, no, I compressed that time frame. Hundreds and hundreds of people that I talked to my first week, which led to me personally recruiting 100 people my first 30 days. Yeah. I personally sponsored 100 people my first 30 days. Before this, I've gone to seminars. You know, Eric Worre has a seminar where he talks about how to recruit 20 people in 1 day or in 30 days. And I was always like, holy crap, how does anyone ever recruit 20 people in 30 days? That's so crazy. That's so hard. And I'd never even sponsored 20 people in 1 month. And then boom, 100 people in 30 days, right? That's more than
amazing.
3 people a day, you know? And so, but again, it was a mind shift. It was a speed and activity. It was believing, you know, as you read books like As a Man Thinketh and Science of Getting Rich, it talks about how like you should only be thinking of the things that matter. Like so many of us say, hey, I have this goal. Like you wake up in the morning, oh, my goal is to make this amount of money. And then as soon as that's over, you're thinking about your negative bank account. You're thinking about negative stuff and all this stuff. And it's like, if you change your thinking and you devote aggressively for a small window of time for 30 days, and you say for 30 days, nothing's going to get in my way. For 30 days, I'm going to think bigger. For 30 days, I'm going to think different. For 30 days, I'm going to go all out. For 30 days, I'm going to talk to 1,000 people. For 30 days, I'm going to just do it all. Like, boom, like life can change really fast. So I always encourage people, believe bigger, believe faster, and compress the time frames, think different.
Yeah, I am so inspired by you. And Jenny and I are starting a 66-day run with our team on Monday. And I think there is a lot of people who also do 30-day game plans, 90-day game plans, and so in other companies. So what is your advice to how to work and how to think and what to do the next 90 days from now if they want to change their life?
Yeah, I think there's a concept called the power list that I'm very big on. And, you know, Earl Nightingale talked about this even back in the 50s, where, you know, a young man went up to a CEO and he said, hey, I could, you know, triple your sales with a strategy I have. And the guy said, well, how much is it? And the young man said, I'll give it to you for free. Once you use it, let me know, you write me a check for whatever you want. So he said, okay. So the young man gave him the strategy, and the CEO, after just 1 week, wrote him a check for $25,000. Now this was back in like the 40s, 50s. So, I mean, that's probably $100,000, $150,000 today. And the concept was very simple. He told the CEO, write down on a piece of paper right now, what are your top 6 things that you like, your top 6 things that you have to do every single day to get your company moving forward. So the guy wrote down 6 things. And then he said, I want you to now write this list of 6 things in order of priority, like which one makes the most impact, the most growth for your company. So the guy rearranged the list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he said, okay, now I want you to cut this piece of paper out. I want you to put it in your pocket. And when you wake up in the morning tomorrow, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to pull out that piece of paper. You're going to look at that first thing, and that's all you're going to focus on until it's done. And then you're going to move on to the second thing, and then you're going to finish it. And then just doing that, your income will triple, right? Brian Tracy talked about the same thing when we had him on. So I think the first thing is like identifying a power list that you're going to commit to every single day, right? And so, I mean, that's very simple. Like, again, it's not a lot of new things, right? It can be 5 reach outs. It can be 5 follow-ups. It can be 5 new friend requests, so that you're growing your list of people to talk to every single day. And then the 4th thing could be promote an event that's going on within the team or the company, right? Just doing that, but at a higher degree for your first 30 days. You know what I mean? So, so here's what I would do. Okay. So if I'm structuring a 90-day game plan, which by the way, I am, that's going to be part of like the masterclass that I do for the next one. I think it's going to be awesome. But I think the most important part about a 90-day game plan is 2 things. Number 1 is the pre 90-day run. So the pre-blitz. So before you go on a 90-day run, I would encourage everyone to spend 3 days pre-blitzing, 3 days where you're going to reach out to 300 people, and you're not going to talk about your product or your opportunity. All you're going to do is you're going to reach out to 300 or 400 people in 3 days. And you're going to say, hey, I'm getting ready to do something big. It's got a lot of potential. I'm getting it all put together. When I get all the information ready, do you want to be the first that sees this information before I send it out to everybody else? right? You're not sharing a product, you're not sharing a business. You're letting them know that you're about to do something big. You're letting them know that you're still putting the information together, that you don't have it all ready yet. But when you do they want to be the first to look at it? And you're going to pre-blitz 300 or 400 people, because that's a very simple message to send out. I'm getting ready to do something big. And you're going to pre-blitz like crazy, because then that makes your 90-day run a lot easier, because now out of those 300-400 people, you might have 150 people that say, yes, I want to have information. And then boom, now you have 150 people that you can begin your 90-day run with by sharing the plan, following up, and doing all those good things. And then the last thing I would say is, work hard at keeping your mindset up. A 90-day run is not the easiest thing in the world, but I think it can definitely change your life. It's like the same thing I talk about when I look at how I went from $0 to $100,000 a month in income, and it took me 4 months. They were very hard months. I wasn't getting a lot of sleep. I did Zooms inside of those 4 months, right? I did a lot. Like, there was just so much going on. But finally, when I, lifted my head up to breathe, like, my world had changed. And so it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. Thank you. We have two questions here that I can see. Do you have time?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So one, Katarina is asking, where do you find the people you invited? I don't know hundreds of people.
Well, my answer to that is I do think you know hundreds of people. So honestly, a lot of it comes down to removing the fear factor, because it's like, what are you looking for? You know what I mean? Like, are you looking for people to talk to, or are you looking for reasons to say, I don't have people to talk to? Because our minds really focus on what we put our intention out there, right? We did a master class with John Madsen, and he talked about this, where he said there was a study done on 20 people where they set up like the movie set where it looked like it was real life. And they told these 20 people that they were unlucky. So they programmed these people to feel like they were unlucky. And then what they did is they put a $20 bill in the restaurant. Okay. And when those 20 people walked into the restaurant, not one of them saw the $20 bill, because their perception is already unlucky. But they took another 20 people, programmed them to think that they are lucky. And when those 20 people walked in, there was a $20 bill on the floor. Yeah. There was always a $20 bill, but the people that felt like they were lucky saw it. Yeah. It's always that opportunity. So like, when you make that decision, you're going to be able to see it. Right. And so what I would challenge everyone to do is, you can literally start by going to Facebook and clicking on your friends list. Yeah. I don't know anyone that doesn't have 300 people on their friends list, and yeah. I mean, a lot of people might have 2,000, 3,000, and that's why I tell people, like, look, and if you have only 100 friends on Facebook, then your 90-day run is more about actually building a database of people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Your 90-day run is about, let me friend request 5 new people every single day so I can grow my database of people, right? But you can literally go to your friends list on Facebook and start from the letter A. Hey, man, I haven't talked to you in 2 years. Hey, I know we haven't talked in 3 years. Listen, I'm really excited about what I'm doing. We're getting ready to do something big. It's got a lot of potential. I'm putting it all together right now. When I have it all together, do you want to take a look? Do you want to be the first to see that sees this information? I mean, you can start just right there. And, you change that mentality. I know, like someone was saying about, like, how do you get over the fear? You get over the fear by just doing the activity every single day long enough, where just you become numb to it. Like, people tell me,
take out the feeling.
Yeah. And people tell me no every single day, but I can't tell you how many tell me no, because I'm not really, like, I don't, like, that's not what I see. I just see the people that tell me yes. Like, that's what my mind focuses on, and so your 90-day run should be a lot about compressing timeframes, and your 90-day run should be a lot about shifting your mentality and starting to program your brain into something different, really taking the time every single day where you're visualizing yourself recruiting people. Like, if you don't think you're good at recruiting people, it's a story in your mind. So you got to close your eyes every day and you got to see yourself recruiting people. And it's like what Bob Proctor says, when you tell yourself a lie often enough, eventually you're going to believe it. So you saying you're not a good recruiter, that's just a lie that you chose to believe. So now change it and create a new lie and say, I am good at recruiting, and choose to believe that versus the other. you know,
I
and
choose to believe. That's a really good statement.
yeah.
And I think there was another question from another Katarina, but I think you answered that in the same time. How do you open to new people, and when you start a new message or talk to new people, how do you open? But I think you answered that now too.
Yeah. And I would always encourage everyone, continue to grow your database and grow it in a very intentional way, right? Like when I friend request 5 people every day, I don't just friend request and oh, they accepted it, it's over. I have an Excel sheet. You can use anything that you want. And whenever I friend request someone and they accept my friend request, I put their name in an Excel sheet. And then I just say hello and nice to meet you and hope to get to know you. And then I keep building my database. And then every single day I'm going and sending a quick hello, or I'm liking, commenting, whatever it is, but I continue to build that database. And so I'll never run out of people to talk to, because I build it in an intentional way, you know? And so some of you might have to start off with just getting a physical notebook and starting to think, hey, let me write everything out. Let me see who I really have. And then you'll be surprised. Hey, there's actually a few hundred people, you know, that I know. And so that's what I recommend.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Jenny, do you have any questions for Ricky before we say bye-bye to him and let him go to his day? It's daytime. You are 8 hours behind. And
yeah.
Soon.
Is it almost Jenny, 9 p.m. over there?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Jenny, do you have any questions or something you want to say or ask?
Well, no, not any prepared question. I just want to say, like you, Johanna, I'm so thankful for you, Ricky. And yeah, this is amazing, because when I hear you and when you talk, it's like you are the person with the big heart. So you have the big success, and still you have the big heart. And for me, that is very huge, because we have a lot of leaders around in the world. We have a lot of leaders around in this industry. But for me, it's important to have an upline, to have a leader, to have someone that still have the big heart and still share to the people out there, because it's a lot of people watching. And yeah, you can be both. You can be like, I'm successful, I just want to keep everything by myself and keep on moving. But I feel like you share, and when you share, it's like sharing is caring. So I just want everyone that see this live or see this video afterwards, you can just press replay and just listen to this guy, because you have a lot of great words and a lot of wisdom. And yeah, whatever you do with your life, you who listen to this, it's like, take the risk. It could be a great chance to just change the life like you have done, Ricky. So your story is like, yeah, you grow from 0 to where you are today, and everyone can do it. It's all about the mindset and just do it. So
and
yeah,
action.
Action.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I have so much love for both of you. And, you know, I think that being a good leader, you want to always also remain a good follower, meaning that always a good learner. So I'm always learning, right? That's one of the questions I asked myself this year, like, who can I learn from? Because I'm eager to soak it up. And Joanna and Jenny, both of you are always that way as well, always learning, despite the success that you guys have already had, but you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep evolving. And that's important. And so I think that's the final benefit I'll wrap it up with is, guys, you get to meet amazing people. Like, I love Joanna and Jenny, and I feel like and I feel like we're like friends, like family. Like when I see you guys in person, I'm gonna give you a hug, because like we built such a great relationship and friendship. And it's like, I'm in Utah, you're in Sweden, you're in Norway. Like, that's crazy, you know, but yet we're here united. So you get to meet such great people. And so I love that. So thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much, Ricky. I'm so happy for you. Used almost 1 hour here. So thank you so much. And we will speak to you later.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Ja, då säger vi också hej då. Så tack till allihopa, nu pratar jag svenska. Alla som har varit här och lyssnat, jag ser jättemånga kommentarer och hjärtan och så. Min dotter har på att skicka meddelanden också. Så det är roligt att se så många här. Hoppas att alla har fått värde utav detta, och gärna om du kommer in och lyssnar på replayen sen, så skriv gärna replay och frågor också, för vi kan ju alltid ställa frågor om det skulle vara någonting senare. Jag önskar allihopa en jättefin kväll, och tusen tack Jenny för att du är världens bästa businesspartner, att vi har det jättebra ihop, vi har det kul tillsammans.
Tack själv Johanna, och jag är så nyfiken, du som kommer in, delvis att du skriver replay om du tittar efterhand, men också dela gärna vad var det bästa du tog med dig för den här liven. Skriv vad det bästa var så att vi får se lite feedback. Det är alltid bra när man delar någonting, som sagt, sharing is caring. Vad var det bästa du tog med dig av den här liven? Är det någonting du kommer implementera nu direkt efter, oavsett vilken bransch du är i, vad du än jobbar med? Är det någonting du kommer använda utifrån vad Ricky har sagt här idag?
Your biggest breakthrough today. Vad var det som, alltså, oavsett vilket företag du jobbar i, om du har jobbar kanske online med någonting helt annat än network marketing, så ändå hans mindset, kunskap, visdom, erfarenhet kan ju träffa många i hjärtat och ge mycket inspiration. Så dela med oss, och tusen tack till alla er som skriver, tusen tack. Att våga mer, skriver Mimmi, släppa rädslor och bara köra på. Och det är ju som vi säger ofta hos oss i alla fall. Marry the process and divorce the results. Bara gör det man måste göra varje dag. I ett företag, vad man än har för företag, så har man handlingar man måste genomföra, en daglig handlingsplan. Gör det utan känslor och skapa de resultaten man vill ha. Så tack ska ni ha allihopa som är här, och tack Jenny. Så nu ska vi gå och ta kvällen, och du har några barn som du ska ta hand om.
Ja, ha det så bra allihopa.
Hej
hej då. Hej hej.